Hello and welcome to today's stream. Today we're streaming more of Pathfinder Kingmaker. I'm actually quite happy I managed to update some stuff so now the logo has the nice Art Deco aesthetic the rest of my stuff has. But let's get going back into Play's Omen. Uh, Getting into political intrigue this time, which will be interesting. Thinking about it, I should have looked up a guide to possibly try to get the best I could out of whatever's going to happen, but instead we'll
Would be
play
nice,
it.
don't you think?
But instead we'll play it by play it by luck. A handsome, well-dressed young man about 17 years old looks at you with a polite smile. I'm sorry, Lander. You look middle-aged. You do not look 17 to me. You look middle-aged. You're the famous slayer of the Stag Lord's gang, soon to be a baron. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Lander. Are you from Restovic nobility? Oh no, I'm not from here. I'm just visiting, you could say. I wanted to see for myself the heroes who managed to conquer the frontier lands, and the Lord Mayor was kind enough to invite me to this wonderful party. Truth be told, that's precisely what I wanted to speak with you about. You see, I'm an heir to one of Brevoy's noble houses. I won't say which, but believe me, a newly appointed baron with no connections would do well to have a friend like me. I travel the country in secret without servants so I can see it for myself, not from a carriage window but face to face with the people. My family would never approve, of course, but then, I never asked. I need to know, Brevoy, if I'm going to rule a part of it someday. I know Jamandi wants to impose her stepson on you as an emissary of Brevoy. Refuse. Take me instead. Don't look at my age. While they may have trained this half-orc to swing a sword, I've been training to rule since I was a child. I'll be a far... Wait, they may have... Okay, I did read that right. I had to go back and double check. I'll be a far greater use to you, both now and in the future, after I have a firm position in my family. I'll consider your proposal. Yes, do so and carefully. What do we have over here? Just some guests? Oh, and Harem. How are you doing, Harem? A feast in times of pestilence, a ludicrous attempt to sink into reverie, to digress from contemplating one's own insignificance. Well then, good to see you're still the life of the party, Harem. I almost didn't recognize Amiri. Wine is alright, nice and strong, but the appetizer barely a mouthful. And Lindsay's over here talking with everybody. Pour up to the brim so that oh, I must be drunk. I forgot the line. Oh, Keston's here. Well, Tartuccio, well, Scum, and how did we? Maybe I've had one too many. You guys can't even remember your own moments of glory. Magar Varn. This man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn into an unkempt ponytail with a few streaks of gray running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Okay, this is one of the default pictures I can choose when making a character, and I almost chose this, which would have made this encounter very awkward. Let me introduce myself. I'm Megar Varn, the new ruler of Dunsword. Your neighbor to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the Stag Lord, by the way. Not everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with such a small team. How did you earn the title of baron? Truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Jamon the Aldori needed someone reliable to take hold. Yeah. Jamon the Aldori needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team. If that wasn't clear? Barley and Host. Have you heard of us? No, no matter. We've done work for Jamandi before. This time the task was simple. We just waltzed into the area, cleared it of the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, a barony and land to own was a dream job. How do you feel being a noble? Looking at his rich clothes, Varn smirks. Like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away could get me eaten. Nods towards an arrogant man in the other corner of the room. See that lad? Baron Drelev. He's not like us. Who knows what generation of Baron he is. Didn't even shake my hand. You and me are like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those, like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise he'd take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. It's nice meeting you. Farewell. Goodbye, and once you've settled in, come pay us a visit. Let's go see what Yaethel has to say. They call this a feast. I'd showed them some real festivities if they'd let me. That's concerning. Oh, we can talk with Casey again. Oh, they're actually coming over to talk with us. Surprise.
Will you drink with me?
See Casey approaching, the tiefling you met during the battle in Jamandi Aldor's mansion. As she draws near, she places one of the cups of wine she's holding into your hand. I've yet to become a baron, and it always seems that someone wishes to... Oi, now! You know what? That's fair. Let's go to beauty.
To beauty. It sweetens our happy days and brings solace to our dark and sorrowful ones. But jokes aside, I came to apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
Apology accepted. What did you want to tell me?
As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in the lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire.
What could be better than a treasure hunt? I'm ready.
I'm sure you'd like to finally gain your official title and celebrate your victory. And I don't like noisy parties and ceremonies. Find me when you return to your dominion. I'll rent a house in your capital. We can discuss the details of our expedition there. So long, friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Okay. And who else do we have around here? Oh, Kristen made it. Let's go talk with him. These people are not just celebrating. It seems your feat has given them new hope. Chandra Merve. Ah yes, I see good old Rostov hasn't changed a bit. Even the smell in the streets is the same. About Natalia. Natalia Sertova is discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary sweet smile. You are not only tough, but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. What do you think awaits me? Nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume. You see, they're preparing to separate from Bravoy. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from Bravoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Rostov to honor you. Well, I wouldn't count on that, I wouldn't even count on that, really. What would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Bravoy, the noble houses. The Aldori won't dare to rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You'd help Brevoy avoid a civil war while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. I believe Jamandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her low-born stepson, the green-skinned boy Casil. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Chandra Merve, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Brevoy's politics than any brawler could be. I would be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Brevoy. Think on it. Do not make any hasty decisions. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm thinking either Lander down here or Aldori's son. Because Lander, I like the thought that he's gone and traveled the lands and such. And I feel like that could be reasonable for somebody that I want to be helping me with everything. But I also understand that that could just be saying stuff to try and get me to trust them. Hannes Drillev, what do you have to say? This man's gorgeous clothes hide rippling muscles beneath them. He looks past your ear, obviously bored. Baron Hannes Drevly, he says offhandedly, emphasizing the word Baron. And you must be the Stag Lord Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forgot your name. But you took out the Stag Lord and his gang, and so Sword Lord Jamandi is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My lands lie to the west of yours. I suppose we're neighbors now. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. Pray tell me what you did to deserve your new dominion. I don't need to deserve or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done so for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Sword Lord Jamandi would have simply given all of the stolen lands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal, so she had to urgently make barons of the likes of you and Varn. So you have no army and no special merits. You were just given land for being pretty. Under other circumstances, I'd have you whipped for such words. But let's not ruin Lady Aldori's celebration. If you want so badly to measure merits, we could do so another time. Goodbye. I look forward to fighting you. Octavia. The eclairs, they're delicious. To victory, to freedom, bottoms up. Do we have anyone else to talk with over here? Zvanki Keeg. A handsome man with a weather-beaten face grasps your hand tightly in his rough, calloused palms. Unlike the rest of the guests in their festive clothes, he wears a simple robe. The only luxury you see on him is a holy symbol of Aristil made of solid gold. The other guests look at him with respect, some bordering on awe. Congratulations on your victory. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Zvanki Keeg, High Priest of Aristil in Rostov. Let's go with the diplomacy option. This is a truly noble undertaking. I believe our community will be able to provide you with reasonable assistance. We will help you construct a shrine in your capital, free of charge. Ooh, free of charge. That's always nice for a new barony. Don't have to sit there going, do I have the gold for this or do I have the gold for that? And I can go, ooh, that's free. I can put the gold towards this. Now, do you have many people in Rostov venerate Aristil? Or do many people in Rostov venerate Aristil? You're just surprisingly simple for such... Do many people in Rostov venerate Aristil? They revere many gods in Rostov. They pray to Abadar, patron of cities, and Pharasma, gatherer of souls. There are also some more rare cults, but there's no denying that the stag god has the largest congregation here, and no wonder. People have lived off farming and hunting for centuries. It was an honor to meet you. Goodbye. Aristil keep you. Let's go talk with Casil. Get to know him. Today is a historic day for Rostov, and maybe for all of Brevoy. Thank you, that is...
I require rest.
We are talking, Owen. You can rest in a short while. I was hoping for something more to get an idea of how Casil is. An older man with full sideburns looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well, now if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the protege of our dear Jamandi. You pulled all this off quite cleverly. I confess I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you, but I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Aldori have always been adept at finding new talent. I don't believe we've been introduced. So it would seem. I am Joseph. Wait. Is that an I or a J? I'm gonna assume that's an I because it looks close to that. So, Joseph Selimus, Mayor or Lord Mayor of Rostov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbor, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship. So you rule Rostov, and what about the Aldori? Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here in this part of Rosslyn, the spirit of northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we have our own way of life. Is especially important now after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. The Aldori sword lords used to rule Rosslyn. They're still the largest landowners and main military force in the region, but it's not for nothing that Rostov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens considered not by their lineage but by their own merits. What kind of events are you talking about? Slemus gives you a patronizing smile. Why an aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house Rogarvia. Can you imagine it? Old man Coral conquered our lands 2 centuries ago. It'd be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air, but once that exact thing happened, turned out nobody was ready for it. Poof. All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It's a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. How are things in Rostov? I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of House Rogarvia, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things. Those sorts of rumors aren't worthy of your attention. Yeah, it was nice meeting you. Goodbye. Please wait a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself, and from what I've been told, you're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organize and supply everything you need for the construction and spread out the cost on extremely favorable terms. I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligations of contracting building services through Restov's Builders Guild. Do we have a deal? That sounds good, but I don't trust that deal. I'm gonna turn it down. Thank you for the offer, but I can't accept. Your choice, of course. I just figured I'd mention it. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye. The feeling is mutual, I assure you. I look forward to hearing more of your dazzling successes soon.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings? My apprentice, Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
I'm gonna choose young Lander.
Oh, the heir of House Lebeda. Naive enough to think no one would recognize him here. I wouldn't trust him. Who knows what he has in mind?
Southwest of... So House Lebeda is based to the southwest of Lake Brekal and Brevoy, controlling the plains and significant portions of the Lake Shipping. They are considered to be the Brevik noble family that epitomizes Rosslyn, having significant Taldan blood, an appreciation for fine things, and a love of sword fighting. The family motto is success through grace. You know what? I am going to choose him.
Stand here. Lord lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon, Captain Maegor Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword, and finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
Oh, I was expecting a little bit more. Ah, yes, a common quota for him. The end times are nigh. Oh, you alright, cat? I went and said that in my...
Victory. The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
That's an interesting name for that. Is this supposed to be me? I think that's supposed to be me. Okay. So, got Tristan in the background. You know what? I might go and try and make this as my party, because that would be 6 people altogether. So let's... Oh, greetings, Baron. Tristan Garrus, welcome, your grace. Let me once again congratulate you on your victory and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here. I am at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of your new capital citizens. The Stag Lord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city, where it travels fast, and the first settlers have already arrived. New ones approaching as we speak. While you were visiting Restov, much has been done here. Your benefactors, the Aldori, invested a great deal of resources in rebuilding the city. I stand ready to answer your questions and to show you around the most important sites. Where are my companions? They are all somewhere around here, but I never kept an eye on who went where exactly. Well, I assume Tristan is with Jod, and you can always find Lindsay. Just follow the noise and turmoil. Are there any citizens I should know about? Our old acquaintance Yod is right here. Aristil's clerics normally don't like cities much, but he's eager to serve you. And the emissary from Brevoy is here, waiting for you in the throne room. There's also the curious matter. An elf has paid us a visit, a blind elf. Desna only knows how he managed to get here. He seems a peaceful, even pleasant fellow, though naturally a little odd, so I let him stay a while. It's up to you to decide what to do with them now. That's about it, I guess. What's the mood of the people? As a rule, I'm not too cheerful or chatty. I'd normally feel out of place among all the rejoicing, but today is just one of those days. I'm ready to look around the city. Lead the way. Follow me, your grace. Okay, so it's just gonna have me automatically follow him. Okay, that's nice. Greetings, your grace. We are, well, your new subjects. We're selecting a site to build our house. If it's wet near the lake and windy up here on the hill, a fine place to throw garbage at our neighbors. Heads, though. Ouch. It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, your grace. Do you recognize this place, your grace? This is where the Stag Lord's fortress wall used to be. Not that it saved him in the end, huh? Our workers did a fine job turning this bandit den into the heart of the town. The heart of every town is its main square. We plan to hold street festivities and fairs here. Look, we already have our first vendor. Ooh, a lantern. Ooh, we have some rings, dagger, rolling pin. If you turn to the right from the square, you'll end up straight in our tavern. Well, I'm sure I'll find someone there, just not a place I intend to visit much. Tavern's ale is blessed by Caden Kalian himself, I swear, and the lady who owns it is a gem. I've heard our baron is tall as a troll, has hair of pure gold, and can breathe fire. Oh, that's all nonsense. Well, except for the part about breathing fire. All barons can breathe fire. Trust me. Actually, I think I can do that, so, it's technically not wrong. Welcome, your grace. Glad to serve you. But yeah, I think I chose a fire-breathing skill as one of my spells. Your grace, those are our guards. They keep order in the city, or keep their mouths busy. Oh, I didn't get to read all of that one. Oh, hey, Brim. Here's the observation platform. I hope one day your capital will grow large enough that we won't be able to see its full extent from this perch. You can see farms down there, the winding river. I really like that. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we will head now. Having a tough time with casters or archers? Try using the charge basic ability. You know what? I've tried using that ability. I still haven't figured out how to use that ability. So now we've reached the main chambers. This is the throne room, where you'll hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map, depicting your barony and its surroundings. We'll mark all the important scout reports and other news worthy of your grace's attention. Welcome to your barony. You are about to make the unyielding stolen lands a prosperous kingdom. There is a long and arduous road ahead of you. You and your advisors are going to deal with matters of national importance, found and build up settlements, seize and develop new regions, solve pressing problems, and take advantage of good opportunities. A prosperous governor will be handsomely rewarded with support and donations from their subjects, promising alliances with other states, both for their treasury and many other things. Good luck in your ruling baron. Hello, my dear friend. Lander Ladeva, the young noble from Brevoy who you've chosen as an emissary, greets you with a distracted nod. I'm glad to see you in good health. I don't see how you remain so steady in these circumstances. He makes a wide gesture with his hand, obviously meaning something larger than your throne room. But, in truth, I shouldn't worry. A little effort, and this barony will become rich and prosperous lands, right? Barony effects. Community +6, loyalty +6, military +3, economy +3, divine +3, arcane +3, stability +3. New event. Trade agreement with Sortova, Ezvanki's offer, pillage the temple of the elk, and rebuild the temple of the... We are going to rebuild that place. I am not going to be pillaging any temples of any gods. I am not that stupid. Difficulty level of your barony. You may change the difficulty level of your barony at any time or set it to automatic. If set to automatic, you won't have to deal with most government decisions. They will be taken care of automatically, and your barony will never fail. However, this will also prevent you from unlocking any government-related achievements. Since ruling seems to be a new thing for you, I'll put the matter simply. There are two kinds of issues that the Baron must address. Boring ones and amusing ones. You have servants and advisors to handle all the boring problems, and you can give them orders from whenever or wherever it pleases you. But sometimes an urgent matter will arise, a dragon attack, or the visit of some noble dignitary like myself. Events like these demand the Baron's personal presence in the capital. We'll mark these events on the map too. According to ancient tradition of Brevoy and most of the river kingdoms, rulers in these parts find it convenient to receive visitors and chop off the heads at the beginning of... I'm sorry. That's part of the beginning of every month, chopping off heads. I know well that traditions can be tedious, but nevertheless, I advise you to visit the capital on important days. But here's the main thing. You should start choosing people to fill key positions right away. Your clerics, Yod and Tristan, were the first to beg for an audience. I'll leave you to your thoughts for now. I'm sure you'll make wise decisions. Oh, you shouldn't be so certain about that. Um, you should be full of doubt that I'll make wise decisions. Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of Baron. I'm confident that you'll be able to bring order to these troubled lands. Though, to be honest, that isn't exactly what we wanted to speak to you about. Tristan and I have been talking a great deal about what happened at the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't all make sense to us yet, but one thing is clear. There's a powerful curse at work. It's corrupted the very essence of that sacred place, steeping it with putrescence. I'm disgusted with whoever could do this. And now, there's a new woe. Tristan and I believe the curse did not simply disperse of its own accord. There is a place near the capital rumored by the locals to be cursed. Tristan and I visited the dreadful place, and we felt the same putrescence as at the Temple of the Elk. What is this place? Where is it? There's a bald hilltop not far from here, to the north. The capital. Its crown is entirely barren of life. The locals believe that rituals of glorifying the dark gods were held there back in ancient times. There is no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy to the point of stifling. This place is like a rotting wound, closed but not healed. And this wound will undoubtedly open again. Tristan and I felt something approaching, something ominous. This curse will soon return to plague us once more, I swear by Aristil. I'll go there as soon as I'm able. I'd be happy to accompany you, but I would not expect to see anything new there at present. I agree with Tristan. We've been to this hilltop. It's barren but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease. Well, what do you suggest? The curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will reach the peak of its strength in about 1 month. That's when we should visit the bald hilltop and resolve this issue. For now, we can only wait and prepare. We beg your pardon, Your Grace, for intervening with you getting the grasp of your barony. I'm sure you have even more pressing matters at hand now. Oh, a whole day passed. Now that Omen's the ruler of his own... I was reading that. The barony has 10 basic stats, each supervised by an advisor. They are as follows: population, regent; loyalty, counselor; military, general; economy, treasurer; divine, high priest; relations, grand diplomat; stability, warden; magic, magister; culture, curator; and espionage, minister. Stats increase if your governance is successful and decrease if events don't end well or other negative factors are placed in your way. Don't let your barony stats drop to 0 or lower. This will cause your subjects to riot and your state will begin to crumble. Each stat has certain milestones or ranks within them. Every 20 points in a stat will increase your rank. Rank 1 unlocks a corresponding advisor position for that stat. Further development of the stat and upgrades to its rank will only be possible if you have an advisor in the relevant position. Governing your barony will require 1 advisor for each stat. You may appoint your companions as well as some of the Stolen Land citizens into these advisor positions. Each of the 10 positions has at least 3 characters who are qualified to hold it. Not all of these characters will be willing to serve you right away. Some of them will need to be convinced. Appointing others will require completing an assignment for them or rendering them some other service. Every advisor acts on their own ideology. They have their own opinions on everything that happens in your domain. Therefore, you may want to select characters whose governance philosophy is consistent with your own. Open the advisor tab on the right side of the screen, click an empty slot, and select a character to appoint them as an advisor. Every barony stat gained a bonus from a specific... every barony stat gains a bonus from a specific ability of the appointed advisor. The exact size of the bonus is indicated by the upper right corner of the advisor's card. Only advisors may address the problems, opportunities, and sudden events that occur in your domain and require immediate attention. Don't leave these positions vacant. Choose a name for your barony. Oh, I wasn't expecting I'd actually get to name my barony. Oh, what should we name this? What kind of environment do we have around our barony? I'm seeing a lot of forests. Mainly forests, it looks like. Or no, we've got some fields in here as well, it seems. But we do have a large forest. I'm not really certain what I should name it. Got mountains over here in the east. So, but largely we seem to have kind of flat lands for it. You know what? I think I have an idea. We're gonna call this place the Storm Range. So our barony is the Storm Range. Let's go see our advisors. So this is our regent. The regent ensures subjects' complaints and concerns are heard by their ruler and serves as a link between the baron and the people. So who can we choose? So Lander would give a +3. Follows the letter of the law, strives to solve problems peacefully. Okay. Our counselor, well, Kristen is going to be our counselor because we don't really have any other options. The counselor deals with troubles of the common folk and helps settle land disputes and agricultural matters. The advisor ensures citizens remain loyal to the throne. Tristan cares for the people over all other concerns. The general is the highest ranking officer in the army of the barony and is responsible for watching the borders and protecting the realm. Direct approach, hot-headed and direct. I'm going to make him marry my general. Treasures to keep the coffers of the barony full and ensure any gold is spent wisely. I do not have any candidates for that position just yet. Okay. High Priest. No matter what deity he serves, the High Priest strives to satisfy the spiritual needs of all citizens in the barony. God or Harim? Does his best to solve problems without disrupting local traditions. Favors unusual but effective solutions. Huh. I'm just thinking of if I put Harim there, just someone going to the High Priest and Harim sitting there, letting out a melancholic sigh, and then telling them, well, of course something like that happens. The end times are nigh. But we're gonna put him there. And who do we have for our regent? I'm torn between Lander and Octavia. I don't fully trust Lander in position. Like, I thought that he's this noble that has traveled the lands and has a better idea of the people. But I also don't really believe that he is the best and has the best intentions towards the place either. Claim outskirts. Declare the outskirts a part of your kingdom. So we can choose advisors. Declare the outskirts part of your kingdom. Costs 150 BP. I have 450 and it take 14 days to solve. You may claim new regions to expand your territory. Open the region tab on the right side of the screen to open relevant projects. Claiming a region will allow you to significantly increase your barony stats and found settlements in the new lands. Here's what you must do to claim a region. Meet a special regional condition that is... I'm sorry, I was reading that last tutorial. Okay. Stat development. Meeting with an advisor. One of your barony stats has reached 20 points. It's time for you to increase its rank. First, meet with your advisor and discuss the future of the state. To do so, return to your capital and click the button on the appropriate event card in the throne room. Whatever choice you make, remember, your advisors may disapprove. If your current advisor decides that you argue too much, they will quit forever. Rank increase. After you talk to an advisor, you make a decision. A new kingdom project will become available that will increase the stat rank. Okay. So that was successful. Economy. Please to establish trade. Merchants will receive the right to establish a sizable trading post in the heart of New Steven. Each city in the barony gains an extra 5 BP per week plus 2 BP for each town and 1 BP for each village. I don't have any advisors and I don't have sufficient funds. As Vankiki, High Priest of Ersil from Rostov, has a strong interest in spreading the Stag God's faith across the region. He's eager to build a shrine dedicated to Ersil of your lands, but at his own expense. Accept his offer if you wish to gain a useful ally and a place of worship for Eristil. Harim, I'm gonna leave you to that. Please don't burn the place to the ground in my absence. Pillage the Temple of the Elk. No, rebuild the Temple of the Elk. Oh, and you're busy with the other stuff. I'll let you take care of the other quest first. Events. Harim has a request. Harim seems to be worried and wants to discuss something. And Counselor waits in the throne room. To the throne room! Don't have any other options. Greetings, Baron. I'm sorry to take you away from your other affairs, but your people need you. When the Stolen Lands were freed from the Stag Lord, the people sighed in relief, but many are still confused by their swift change of fortune. Truth be told, they simply don't know what to think of their new Baron, nor what to expect of you. Will you be a fair ruler for all, or only for those of wealth and status? Let's reassure your people. Show them where your favor truly rests. Perhaps a small celebration would help to win them over. Of course, you could spend the same amount on a luxurious dinner for the wealthiest of your barony, but I recommend organizing a fair for the common people, the ones whose shoulders your power truly resides. Let's see. Hold a fair for the common people. I want them to know that I hold them closest to my heart. We hold a luxurious dinner party for the merchants, the support of... I'm going to choose the common people. So, our community got +2, our culture got +2, and support the counselor's endeavors. Oh. Harim looks embarrassed. He runs his fingers through his beard and clears his throat a few times, then speaks. I heard, not that it's important, but, well, I heard that an ancient trade road built by the dwarves of the 5 Kings Mountains runs through these lands. I don't know what happened to them or where they went. Unforgiving time spares no one, but the road itself is still there, and possibly not only the road. Well, Omen, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in the area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes. Of course, Harim. If I find any dwarven ruins, I'll take you to them. Thank you, Omen. Well, thank you. Harim, turn right around. I have to speak with you again still. Your Grace, I was at Oleg's trading post recently, and I noticed old Boken just standing there, bored to death with nothing to do. This is most unfortunate. After all, the old grumbler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he has no use for his skills, since the locals need nothing more than the simplest of healing potions. And then it struck me. Why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? His decoctions and Tinctures would certainly prove most useful to you. Also, it might be cheaper than simply buying from him or some other merchants. Interesting. Is that everything? It seems that is everything. Access the... Click on the table stand before the throne. Okay. Start the rank up project. The advisor and the baron will spend 14 days on a special project to increase the rank of the respective stat. Rim has a request. The visitor has met with the baron. Support the counselor. So... Oh, this is... I want to do that, but I want to spend some... I want to go and spend some time and have the start of... I don't want to be doing stuff and miss the first day of the month, because they were just saying a short while ago that that was important. Lander, what do you have to say? Greetings. Chaotic good. You certainly seem to be in high spirits. Truly high spirits indeed. Just this morning I received news from Brevoy. My illustrious mother, may the gods prolong her years, is terribly upset by the disappearance of yours truly. She's dispatched search parties to the neighboring provinces. Discreetly, of course. She fears whatever scandal might arise due to my absence. Well, it's not the first time she's gone to such lengths. Any advice from me, Lander? I've met Creston Garrus before. He was an amiable, gregarious man, not at all like he is now. Now he's a broken man, and I don't consider it wise to trust broken people with important positions. We'll speak later. I want to go and try and find some people to talk with. Ooh, Tiger's here. Oh, he's off over here being cute. Tristan, do you have anything to say to me? I'm not gonna go with any of that. Unfortunately, I haven't leveled up yet. Ooh, storyteller. Storyteller, what do you have to tell to me? The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled, and his beard is as white as as mountain snow. The man seems to be completely blind. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth slightly to its rhythm. Ah, who's there? Is that you, your grace? I need a wise advisor for my court. Would you like to serve me in matters of state? Thank you for your words. I'm unlikely to be able to interpret the intricacies of political world or the affairs of the treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of the arts would be useful to any ruler. Well, I'd be happy to have that. How could you tell it was me? It's not hard to recognize a ruler by the way he walks. No one here steps as confidently as you, your grace. Would you care to trade stories with me? I'm a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it, whether willingly or not. Can I not be certain you will keep my stories intact in their absolute purity? The storyteller ponders for several moments. No, I do not think so, at least not yet. These legends are the most precious valuables of this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are beacons illuminating the way to the past, allowing us to meet generations long gone. I cannot let their light fade. The path to the past must not be lost. But I can offer you a deal, your grace. If on your journeys you discover items that come from eras past, bring them to me, and if my eyes can see the stories that these relics hold, I will gladly share them with you. I found shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me at the anvil? May I? The scorched piece of metal is a part of a curious artifact known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside I sense a story of many deeds, not heroic, but low and maleficent. If you find all 7 of its fragments, I'll be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. I've brought some relics. Are any of them worthy of a story? How interesting. May I, your grace? What is this? I hear from voices of trees. Smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I'd be happy to purchase it from you. Holy 2,700. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide whether the cause was just. This tag belonged to one of the many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Taldan Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you. So that's the warrior's dog tag. Ah, the belongings of brave heroes who performed their feats here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story. There are too few of them for me to recount it yet. Please find all 5 of them. I'm sure you won't regret the time you spend in your search. That was interesting. Did he go and take all of the dryad stuff? Okay, he did. And we have just a few bits for those. And I need to go and sell some of the stuff that is in my inventory that I intended to sell. But that was interesting all around.
Won't be halted.
So it looks like we could exit to the map or to the town. Good tactics tomorrow. Oh.
Hello, my savior. You asked if we'd meet again, and here I am. I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power? I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. A shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lord, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you.
This feels very much like a trap. I'm almost certain this is a trap. But we're still going to choose option 3.
So long. I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter's snow.
Just reward. Well, I'm going to go ahead and save here as soon as this lets me save. And I'm going to call it here in part because there's a couple things I actually want to go and take a look at before doing much more. I want to check some stuff for classes, and I want to check a couple quests because I vaguely remember there being some quests that are time sensitive for when I will be able to do them, either receiving them or when they expire. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that so that I can have that ready for the next stream. Thank you to everybody who watched the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. If you enjoy the content I make, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next stream. That'll be all. Have a good day.